Welcome to another episode of Wake and Focus with the Old Gold and Black. My name is Benjamin Pappas, and today I am interviewing a student whose creative energy and theatrical talent has made him a standout in the arts community. He's the recipient of the inaugural Dotting Theater Award, and he recently captivated audiences with his solo performance of Every Brilliant Thing, a powerful story about love, loss, and the beauty in everyday life. Today, we're going to talk about his journey through performance and learn how he uses storytelling to connect with audiences. So, let's get into focus with Vir Gupta. So I want to start off by asking about Every Brilliant Thing, which you just finished up a couple of weeks ago, right? For those people who aren't familiar with the story, can you tell us a little bit about that?
So Every Brilliant Thing was a show I performed April 10th through the 13th. It was my honors project. It was a 65-ish minute show, solo show, recounting every brilliant thing in this person's life, this character who I played. And it was about his journey from age 7 onwards. That's when his mom first attempted to take her own life. And then he goes through school, college, finds a wife, things happen, things don't work out sometimes, and it's about his story. And all through this, he's making a list of every brilliant thing about the world.
And I read that you maybe have been wanting to do this for a while.
Yeah.
Was this like what stuck out to you about the story?
Oh my god. Okay, so this will get a little deep, but I saw the show for the first time in my hometown, where I was born and brought up, Bengaluru, India, for 18 years. In my high school, someone came and performed the show. He's performed the show 150 times. His name is Vivek Madan. And I saw it in 11th grade. And I was like, this show is awesome. I want to do something with this at some point. And at that point in my life, a very dear friend of mine had just taken her own life. Wow. So that's why the show hit really hard, because it's about mental illness, suicide, all of that. So it just happened to have been performed 2 or 3 months after the incident. And I don't know, it like really affected me. And then I bought the book and I just had the script with me for years. And eventually, like last day, I asked the advisor of the show and the thesis if I could do something with it. And I asked if I could perform it, and that was it.
Yeah, and it's a really cool idea because it's a solo performance, but you also bring people and kind of involve them in that. Was this the first time that you had done such an interactive performance?
Yeah, I haven't really performed much, if any, at Wake. Back home, I was always on stage, so it was weird. But also the fact that this show has audience participation. So there's someone, I bring people on stage, just like my wife, the dad, the vet, the lecturer. And it's just people I identify in the audience, and people in the audience are also like reading out the items from the list. So yeah,
that's very nice. Why you said that you waited, or this is kind of the first time that you've been performing at Wake? I've seen you do a lot of like behind the scenes stuff and a lot of the work leading up to a show. Why did you wait so long to make your debut?
Well, I was on stage freshman year and sophomore year, like small roles. We do 4 main stage performances, but I auditioned and I was in those. But I wasn't really like, my heart and my soul was definitely not in it, because I was like, oh god, these people around me are too good at what they do. And then this was just kind of for me in a weird way.
Yeah.
It was like a very nice full circle moment for me to come back and be like, alright, this is it. This is like, I belong on the stage. Or actually, I really don't. But like, it's where I started as a child, and it's like, okay, I get to end my time at Wake here. And like, not many people that had seen me on stage, or like the people that didn't really like know much, because I came on stage in those 2 shows in a very, very small amount of time and didn't do much. It was a very just fulfilling process. That's all.
Yeah, and you mentioned how this has been sort of performance and theater has been something you've been involved with for a long time. When you were a teenager, you directed a play called Older and Bolder.
Oh my god.
And it starred 16 senior citizens, and you performed across, I did a deep dive on this, it performed across Bengaluru, India. So you directed that. You were either like 16 or something?
Yeah.
You were a teenager. What is the key to helping very different people create a story that really feels true to a wide audience?
First of all, props to you for finding that. That's a big deep dive. Wow. That was 11th grade, I think. I say that older senior citizens are very much like children, stuck in their own ways, don't want to listen to you, and just do what they want.
Okay.
So that's what it was like. It was like the second time we did. That was the second iteration of doing a show with senior citizens. My relative runs this little community of senior citizens, and she was like, "Do you want to do this?" I said, "Yes, I would love to." So it was going across the city every day for a couple of months and coordinating with these 60 plus people, 60-year-old plus people that wanted to do a show and do some theater. And of course, like, they wanted to do some things, and sometimes they don't want to listen to a 16-year-old because, of course, like, it doesn't. Who would want to? But it was a very interesting and fun process to work with these people, and I really enjoyed their company because they're older than you, man. Like, all these people have seen so much more in life than you have, and you're 16, for God's sake.
Yeah, were you self-conscious at all, being a 16-year-old leading these people who are decades older than you?
100%. How can you not be? It was more like anything I said, or like if I was to give them, be like, hey, can you try that a certain way? It's like in the back of my mind, I'm like, why would they say yes? So yeah, you just sort of like, there's some battles you don't fight, but other ones, like, you want to fight, you do.
Yeah. That's really cool. And when I was learning about that, I kind of saw, I feel like, some similarities, because I was like, okay, so he did all this stuff with senior citizens. You mentioned that they're kind of, it seemed like dealing with kids.
Yeah.
And then you're this amazing RA. You're known for being an RA. Are there any parallels? Are there relationships there? Like, did the one instance help you with the other?
Well, being an RA, I was not going to take the job initially. I was put in Collins Residence Hall, and all my friends were like, please don't take it. This was my freshman year. And I took the job. And that was the best ever hall I'd had till now. So my my sophomore year hall was the best, and then it's not gone downhill, but it's like, that's how I would rank that.
Okay.
But I think in terms of like similarities, it's like, it's kind of corny, but like listening to them and like talking to them and asking them about simple things and interests, because you have something in common with everyone. Like,
yeah.
Like, for us, it can be as simple as, like, we use the same communal bathroom. It's like talking about how clean the bathroom is, or, like, how was housing, how was registration. But, like, other things, like, to bring people together, there's a couple of things that I always found interesting. Birthdays. If you remember birthdays, remember names, it really sticks out to people, because most people don't. So I try and make a big deal out of, like, birthdays. If there's a birthday on the hall, we do something special. We also do a lot of events together, a range of them, like from like draft nights to edge drop competitions. Like, it's like silly stuff, but I think sometimes, like, you get people together because there's a common interest or something you can talk about. It can be something as simple as, like, there's a guy on the other wing who you don't like, and everyone gathers over the same, not common enemy, but just a guy who, like, we don't share the same love for.
Yeah.
And it's a talking point. And that's all you need at the end of the day. Something to talk about, because people like to talk about themselves, but they also like to talk about the things they don't like and why they don't like them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think 2 years in a row, the people in your hall have went on to go live in a themed housing community their sophomore year.
Yep.
So clearly you're the reason why they developed such bonds, but then it's also something that carried on once they, like, kind of moved past you. How does that feel?
I love it, and I'm very proud of it. Like, sometimes you don't see the results and the outcomes of your work, but, like, the house thing is pretty special to me, that I'm the only RA that's ever done it, which is kind of ridiculous.
In Collins, no less. Like,
well, I think Collins helps, right?
Yeah, you think?
It has to, because the rooms are so bad that you have to leave your room to speak to people. And it's true. Like, every housing knows that. Res Life knows that.
Mm-hmm.
No one, like, it's like the worst kept secret at the school.
Yeah.
But it's just worked out for the best. Like, I love my kids, and, like, last evening we tried to do a big reunion dinner at the house. But I don't know, like, I still keep in touch with most of them, and I, like, obviously there's going to be people on the hall you don't like and people who are different, but you need that. You can't have a hall with, like, 25 guys who are all reasonable good guys.
Yeah.
It's not ethnic diversity, but you need the diversity of, like, the social, like, people who are weird, people who, like, are bizarre, who are like, oh, there he is. Oh, you never see him, but, oh, here he is on the hall. There's that guy. But I think that's what makes up a good hall, is by having all the characters. Like, you need the diversity, because that's what makes it a good group. And not everyone's going to get along with that, and you need to accept that. Like,
Yeah.
if I stuck some people together and like put them in a room, they would kill each other.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, you know, you've obviously had such an impact on all these students and different communities in Wake Forest, and you're a senior now, so you're looking back over all of this stuff. What are you doing after graduation? Where are you going to be going? Which side of Vir are we going to be seeing the most?
Oh my God. There's like people who know me just know me as
Yeah.
the same person, but like I'll be in Lynchburg, Virginia for the summer at End Station Theater Company as an assistant technical director, and I think in the next week or so I'll know what's going on after that. But the plan is to attend grad school in the cycle of August 26th, because I can work for a year legally until June 9th of 2026. So the plan, or rather, I will aim to get something. I'm in the process of getting something that fulfills the time between July 27th, when my summer gig finishes, and June 10th of 2026. So I don't know yet, but I'll know in the next 2 weeks, hopefully.
Nice. Well, the one area that's definitely going to see a change next year is your hall, of course. So whatever RA who comes next to your hall has huge shoes to fill. What is your piece of advice for them?
I mean, I don't know. Like each person does the job differently,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there's some people who don't speak to their residents, and that's fine. Like most people are in it for the paycheck, and I am too.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. Like the hall is not going to be the same, and it's changed every year. I've been in it for 3 years because it's the people that make the place, and I truly believe that. So like whoever takes over next, I don't know who it is. And I was talking about this with someone yesterday. They're like, "Who's taking over?" And I'm like, I don't know. Part of me wants to know, but part of me is like, I don't care, because like I've done this for 3 years, and whatever I needed to do was done. And so what I would say to the person is just be there for your kids, man. Like they're younger than you. They look up to you. Like it's weird for me that I'm 4 years older than my boys, and we do stuff together. But like, I think to some extent they seek validation, and they seek like your advice. I mean, you're a resident advisor.
Yeah.
But again, it's what you make out of it. Like, I've tried to make the most out of my time there, and I think I really have. And I think I really have done it at this college as well. But, like, for whoever takes over, like, you cannot. Like, for all I care, you can just be in your room and study all day. Like, I know people who do that for the job, but they make the same amount as me.
Yeah. So it's definitely up to you, I guess, to make your impact here.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for having this conversation with us.
All right. Thank you so much.
This is very nice to talk to you.
Thank you.